What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we will talk about Ben White because multiple journalists and multiple newspapers are claiming that Liverpool are ripping up their plans of no January transfers and they are going in for Brighton's Ben White as the #1 centre-back target. I think after Liverpool drawing Leipzig in the Champions League, it's very unlikely that Leipzig would sell any of their centre-backs to Liverpool. We have been linked with Upamecano and Konate, and Jurgen Klopp also gave an update on the injury situation. So the best news is that Naby Keita is in contention to play against Tottenham, and Thiago will be back in a couple of weeks as well. So he could be back at the end of this month, but maybe early January at the latest, which is also brilliant news. What is worrying though is that Joel Matip, we don't know yet whether he will be fit for the Tottenham game. He's training, but Jurgen Klopp will have to see how he is. Jurgen Klopp said only 2 days ago we played, and Matip left the pitch with a back spasm, a back pain. The physios worked pretty much 24 hours on him. We will see. We have another session today, and then we will see. And Naby Keita will be involved. He was involved yesterday in the extended warm-up. There is another session. We will have to see how he reacts to that. With the others, no one else is ready to come back from injury, but Thiago will be back before January, I think. And also, guys, if you enjoy these transfer news updates, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. And Liverpool will offer Virgil van Dijk a bumper new contract. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. He said that in the new year, Liverpool will extend Virgil van Dijk's deal for 5 years, for another 5 years. The Italians said the Premier League champions want Van Dijk to commit his long-term future to the club. That would almost guarantee that Van Dijk retires at Liverpool, or at least plays his best year at Liverpool. I think he's very happy, his family is very happy and settled at Liverpool, so I think this is the best decision, even though he's out injured. And Kevin Palmer, a respected journalist, is reporting in the Sunday World newspaper that Liverpool have shifted their position ahead of the January transfer window, and they are now actively looking to sign a centre-back, and also they are targeting players with specific characteristics. And season-ending injuries affecting defenders Van Dijk and Gomez did not immediately alter Liverpool's transfer plans, with Liverpool hoping they could navigate a path to success this season without further investment. But the ongoing injury issues for centre defender Joel Matip have forced Liverpool a change of heart. The Sunday World newspaper have been told that Liverpool are actively looking to bolster their squad next month as they look to sign a young defender with top-tier experience, so Premier League experience in the English game, or Bundesliga or La Liga experience. Liverpool have been linked with Upamecano, with Kabak. They would need to acclimatize and to get used to English football, to the Premier League, and also to moving to another country. And Liverpool are keen to avoid buying players at the back end of their careers, so we can rule out players like Koulibaly or maybe even Alaba. Brighton's Ben White has been mentioned as a potential target who may be available next month, and the 23-year-old centre-back is on the list of targets drawn up by Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. John Aldridge believes the club needs to be bold in their transfer dealing, as he just suggested that Liverpool should be targeting a player who can make an instant impact in early January and who can be a long-term, centre-back option for Liverpool as well. This is what Aldridge said. Liverpool need to make their move to bring in a centre defender, and they should be working on that right now. While Fabinho can slot in at centre-back and do a good job, Jordan Henderson could play in there at a push. Young lads like Nathaniel Phillips and Reece Williams are showing great real potential. They need some backup in the center of the defense after everything that has happened. That player needs to be ready to come to Liverpool when the transfer window opens on January the 1st, and he needs to have a good fitness record and also have a Premier League or top level experience. Van Dijk and Gomez are not coming back anytime soon. Matip doesn't seem to be able to play a run of games in succession in a row, so Liverpool need to sign a player who is good enough to play the right way and to play straight away, and maybe a natural successor to Matip or even Van Dijk in the future. Of course, signing that player won't be easy, but the run of bad luck Liverpool have had with injuries this season means that something has to be done now. And Liverpool showed that we can't make big money transfers in the January transfer window. We signed Virgil van Dijk for £75 million in January, and many Liverpool fans were skeptical that that would ever happen. But it did, it happened, and the rest is history. Van Dijk became one of the best centre-backs in the world. I'm not saying that Ben White would become one of the best centre-backs, but Liverpool are seriously considering going in for him. So Ben White, Liverpool almost signed him in the summer, but Brighton asked for such big money that instead we just went with selling Lovren and not replacing him, and that backfired a little bit. But Liverpool couldn't really foresee both Van Dijk and Gomez getting long-term injuries at the same time. So Brighton kept hold of Ben White. Even Leeds United wanted to sign Ben White. Leeds United, who of course had Ben White last season, and Ben White was one of the main reasons why Leeds United got promoted. He made their defense really solid, and I think Brighton, even though they are struggling this season, they are a good team. They have a pretty good defense. Attacking wise, they are lacking a little bit of goals, so it's not because of Ben White that Brighton are just above the relegation zone. The problem is that Ben White just signed a new contract in the summer, so he would cost maybe 30-40 million, but I don't think Liverpool should bulk at their asking price, because Ben White is seen as a long-term option. Treat it like a summer transfer window brought forward 6 months. Jamie Carragher even said, whoever Liverpool was going to sign next summer, just sign him in January. Bring that forward, bring that signing forward, and pay whatever it needs to be paid. And then in the summer, we don't need to sign a centre-back. It's as simple as that, as I say. But now in the middle of the pandemic, of course, Liverpool are very reluctant to pay big money for even a centre-back who they absolutely need. The owners, FSG, know what it's all about. They already work in baseball for many years. I mean, they have been Liverpool owners for 10 years now, so they know that this injury crisis is pretty unprecedented. So we need to absolutely get the funds ready for Jurgen Klopp to spend it. Problem is, Brighton already rejected £30 million for Ben White from Leeds United. So will they accept 30 million in January? I highly doubt it. I think it would take 35, maybe even 40 million to sign Ben White. But if you can make the payment like with Diogo Jota, that you can divide it up into like 3 or 4 installments, so pay like 15 million right now, maybe pay another 10 million next summer, pay another 10 million two summers from now, something like that. I think that should be doable. I don't think we should judge Ben White too harshly, because this is his first season in the Premier League. He only played in this league for 6 months, and he would be just covered like 3rd or 4th choice centre back for Liverpool. So I think he could need another 1 or 2 years to become more experienced and to improve and to become even better. So Ben White could be a good long-term investment for Liverpool. And if Liverpool are fine with bringing in a player who they may need to be patient with, then I think this is a transfer that could happen. White also offers great versatility in the positions he can play, and because he has played at both centre-back and centre midfield for Brighton, which could draw similarities between him and Fabinho, in that Fabinho can also play in multiple positions. John Aldridge also said, Fabinho has done brilliantly, there is no doubt about that, but there are times when we do need him in midfield. He's a fantastic in there as a holding player, and you could say Fulham was one of those games when we missed Fabinho in there as a holding player. There's less pressure on the back four when you have got someone of his caliber protecting in front of them, and I think there's definitely games when we have missed him in the middle of the park. So it makes sense if the club can find the right deal to get another senior centre back in, because it will take the pressure off in both areas of the field and give us a better chance to get to the business end of this unique season done in the right way. So that means being involved for the Premier League title race, for the latter stages of the Champions League. James Pearce revealed that Diogo Jota could miss another 11 games of this very hectic festive period. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. And Paul Robinson said this: "It is a massive blow for Liverpool to add to a long list. It is incredible the amount of injuries Liverpool have been hit with this season, even though it is an unprecedented year. It's not just the number of injuries, it is the number of injuries to key players. Jurgen Klopp get Alisson back and then Jota gets injured. It is a very tough season for Liverpool injury-wise, and I do not know what Jurgen Klopp has done to deserve this." I think it's a mixture of bad luck, but also because Liverpool and all the other top teams are playing every 3 days. We already had 3 international breaks where the international players had to play 3 times in almost every international break, on top of playing every 3 days in the Premier League, the Champions League. It's an absolutely ridiculous schedule, and combine that with the shorter pre-season, shorter off-season, I think it's almost inevitable that there will be a lot of injuries at top clubs. Jurgen Klopp said that Chelsea are one of the favorites for the Premier League title, and I think on paper, with the amount of players that they signed, they should be one of the favorites. The pressure should be on Frank Lampard to deliver much better than what they did in the last 4 days. And Mario Marchiot, the former Chelsea player, rejected somewhat Jurgen Klopp's claim, saying, "I don't think so. I would love to say that Chelsea are favorites, but if you look at Liverpool, they have the ingredients to win the title again. I see them being up there to win it again, along with Manchester City." Do Chelsea want to be up there? Of course, but these these defeats are the kind of games they have to win if they are going to compete. He's talking about the Everton and the Wolves game. Do I expect Chelsea to be in the top 4? Yes, that's normal, especially with the investment they have made and bringing so many talented players into the squad. But the important part is to take a bit of pressure off your team by saying others are great. So that's clever from Jurgen Klopp. Lampard said what exactly what I thought. You know, there is a test. It comes down to the battle. That mentality is in Everton's side, in Wolves' side. You have to be a real man. It does not always come down to the tactical side. It is down to fighting spirit. That is what Lampard called the test. And Chelsea didn't live up to it. He said they will be better, so he's talking about the future. They will get tested more. They will get surely some other big tests. Chelsea have the players and the quality, but it comes down now to the fact the players have to perform every time. There are a lot of new players that might not know the league, but the games are coming thick and fast. You have to recover. The league is won in December and January. If you don't do well in those 2 months, or if you start dropping points, that is when it becomes tricky. I don't think the league is won there, but you can lose the league. They say you can't win the league in the first 6 months of the season, but you can certainly lose the chance to win the league. You can lose the league in the first 6 months, and you can certainly lose the league in December and January if you drop too many points. And Wijnaldum, let's talk about him. He has become a crucial member of Liverpool's midfield. He's basically playing every game that we have to win. And Stephen Warnock, former Liverpool player who is now working as a pundit, he's a huge fan of Wijnaldum, and he is warning Liverpool that if Liverpool let Wijnaldum out of the door, if we don't extend his contract, Liverpool, it could cost up to £60 million to bring in a player who reaches Wijnaldum's quality, who is as good as Wijnaldum. And he doubts if Liverpool have the funds to make such a signing. That's why I said just give Wijnaldum the contract that he asks and tie him down for another 3 or 4 years, because otherwise we would have to spend £60 million to replace Wijnaldum. This is what he said. 100% I would keep Wijnaldum if I was Liverpool. To go into the market and buy someone like Gini Wijnaldum, you are looking at a 50-60 million pound transfer fee. Do Liverpool have the finances to do that in or after the pandemic? I don't think they do, Warnock said. They have obviously brought both Thiago into the squad as well, but Thiago is not necessarily a Wijnaldum replacement. I think he's a different kind of player. Did we buy Thiago to replace Wijnaldum with Thiago? I don't think so. I think they both are needed in this Liverpool squad for the future. This season is the best evidence. You need a lot of options in midfield. If we don't have Wijnaldum next season and Thiago gets injured for another 2 months, then what do we do? Yes, Curtis Jones is coming through and he's a great player, but I think Liverpool need more great players in midfield, especially because of our injury problems in defense. Fabinho sometimes has to be taken out of midfield and put into defense. And Jurgen Klopp is getting continuously asked when Virgil van Dijk will be back. Can he come back soon? And he has spoken positively of Virgil van Dijk's continued recovery, but Jurgen Klopp also emphasized and stressed that this is a long-term injury and he won't be back very soon. He won't be back as early as January. He said this: Virgil van Dijk is a very positive person, and since he overcame the shock of the actual injury, he's in a really good mood and working hard to get back. But this is a very long-term injury. So it was still, I have to say, a crazy challenge by Jordan Pickford, which I still don't understand. These are the words of Jurgen Klopp. He also said, I don't think about it, but you journalists ask me and it comes up in these press conferences, so I have to answer it. And I still haven't forgiven Jordan Pickford, and it was actually pretty delightful to see that after Everton injured both Van Dijk and Thiago, and they still are both not fit since the Everton game, and that was like 2 months ago. It was pretty good to see Everton lose a couple of games straight after that. And also, what is surprising to me is that it was confirmed that Liverpool are now only one of 4 clubs in the Premier League that can still host fans, because London is moving into tier 3 from Wednesday. So now just 4 Premier League clubs are allowed to host fans in their grounds: Liverpool, Everton, Brighton and Southampton. Any other team, no fans allowed in the stadium. It's a little bit of an advantage for Liverpool, but the reason is very sad that a lot of people are dying because of the virus in England. So I really hope that the vaccine helps, which England already have. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.